So guys, it looks like we're continuing down this roller coaster of Plarium and their interesting decisions. So let's go back a few days to the Cyber Week activities, okay? We had the Bad L tournament. I don't really think that was a big deal. Nobody really made a big deal about it. Some people pushing hard. It is what it is. I mean, if you prepare, you can get it. Most people who spin are going to have a better chance. Of course, the 10x events, not a big deal whatsoever. I mean, they were good champions. Mortu Macabre and Hefrak, Krizia, all great champions. We then had the 20 Sacred Shard guaranteed event for Elva Autumnborn, probably the best or one of the best Sylvan Watcher legendary champions so far, and that caused a ton of community outrage, and deservedly so. Not so much for being 20 Sacred Shards in a vacuum in and of itself, but the fact that all of the events we've had up to that point have been 15 Sacred Shards, and then during Cyber Monday where they're doing good deals, they're basically setting people up to, hey, now you got to fill that gap between 15 Sacred Shards that you were probably saving for to now get 20 shards. Kind of made you feel as if you were forced to buy shards, and it just left a really bad taste in a lot of people's mouth. Well, after that, we had the Raid and Ronda Rousey, which is pretty cool, okay? So yesterday, this was announced. I think a lot of people got pretty excited. Looking on Reddit, which is usually pretty negative, was actually pretty positive. They're like, oh, this is awesome, this is exciting. Pretty solid looking champion, pretty good, nice looking skill kit. Overall, pretty awesome addition with even a free legendary. Plus, we're getting some Savage gear along the way. And then we get two more things today. Now, this is very interesting, okay? So the main one I want to talk about is this right here, CVC with personal rewards, okay? That's going to be the main thing I focused on in the video. But the new preview of Artifact Ascension. We're going to talk about this for just a second. I'm not going to watch the video. You guys can click on the video in the game and watch it for yourself. But one big thing is you got to be very, very careful about, okay? Is if you're doing the ascension of your gear and you have boots, you're going to ascend them, and your team's speed tune specifically, you probably want to think twice before ascending, because if it's a specific tune for, like, say, clan boss, and you ascend your boots that are already speed boots, and you get more speed on those boots, well, now all of a sudden, you have boots that were possibly amazing, and now they're useless. So if you start ascending gear, and you get the main stat that is bad, or the additional main stat that's bad, then you could quite literally ruin your teams. So be very, very mindful about this. Plus, it's adding another area to the game where more energy is going to be spent. I'm not so worried about that necessarily, because you can prioritize where certain things are spent. It is, of course, adding tons more stuff to the game, but I don't think that in and of itself is a bad thing per se. I think it could add some more depth in some areas, but really it just added more RNG. Once this dungeon comes out, though, I will run it. I will get some teams built. Should have access to it on the test server eventually, hopefully. And if I do, I'll put all that information out for you guys. But this right here, CVC with personal rewards. This is where the new community outrage is. So remember, a few days ago, the 28th, we had Cyber Week, the outrage from this, okay? This lasted through the weekend during the shard pulls for Elva. And then we had Raid and Ronda Rousey. Yeah, that's a good thing. And now we're going into the next day, CVC with personal rewards. Now, that's not a big deal by itself, okay? CVC with personal rewards isn't that big of a deal until you look back. Last CVC was personal reward CVC. This coming CVC is personal reward CVC, which is a CVC on December 6th. And then the next CVC on December 20th is going to be personal reward CVC. Now, this is pretty near and dear to me because I've seen clans and experienced myself basically have a ton of drama and fall apart because of personal reward CVC. If you're in a high clan, if you're in a top 50 clan and, you know, big spenders, and you're winning all your CVCs, you're doing it strategically, that's perfectly fine. You probably like having the more personal rewards, having more resources to go for. If you're a big whale, not a huge issue. Majority of players are not those in that category whatsoever. Majority of players save up in between personal and non-personal reward CVCs to get enough resources to actually put into those personal reward CVCs to get their 400,000 minimum points. Because if you're somebody who's wanting to stay in tier 6, you need to do 400,000 points if you want to stay there and then get the personal rewards for that tier. So that's the individual tiers. If you're doing entire clan tiers, that's a little bit different. But if you're wanting to stay in your tier 6 and get those rewards, you have to consistently put up about 400,000 points, which some players, that's very, very difficult to do. And having this 3 times in a row is very bad because you especially have the clans that have the CVC minimum set, okay? Say for my clan, it's now 250,000 during personal reward CVC, and then 150,000 during other CVCs. We don't push CVC super difficult. We do have some spots if you guys want to apply. We're at 26 out of 30 members. definitely leave a comment down below. Message me on Discord. I'll leave my link to my Discord channel down below as well. But we are recruiting. But as far as the CVC minimums, this isn't difficult. 250,000 points isn't difficult when you have players having a gap with non-personal rewards in between. But some players pushing to this 250K is difficult. And then doing it consistently for 3 weeks in a row is especially difficult. Well, I guess it is every other week, okay? So it's personal rewards, break, then personal rewards, then break, and then personal rewards. So usually it's personal rewards, we have a week off, and then we have regular CVC, then a week off, and then personal rewards. So you have a lot more time to actually prepare your resources versus now, personal, 3 personals. And the thing that I really don't like about this, I didn't say too much about the Sacred Shard event because that's more of an individual thing. If you quit raid based on that, you're probably already on your way out. CVC, I think, is a very good way, especially like this, to cause players to actually quit the game, because I've seen it firsthand. Players will get mad that either they're being forced to do this extra work because their clan is going to require it, and then they get kicked out of the clan, or they feel too much of a pressure to perform, and then they just leave the clan. And then once you start taking the community out for a lot of players are just going to quit. Now, I'm not quitting. I'm not considering quitting or anything like that. This isn't as going to affect me personally, but seeing how it's going to affect other players, especially being during Christmas time. I mean, it's Christmas time. You know they're going to be selling a lot of packs. You know not only is it going to be the personal reward CVC, but it's also going to be, hey, buy this Christmas deal. You're getting a lot of good offers to help you out with that 400,000 points you have to meet, right? We're gonna help you out, guys. We're gonna help you out. Just give us some money. It's all good, okay? I don't want to be complaining too much. I don't want to make it all negative, make your guys' outlook on the game down, okay? There's been a lot of that recently anyways. As it is, I don't want this personal reward CVC. So be careful. Know that we're gonna have a lot of personal reward CVCs coming up. So maybe try to make your decisions now instead of waiting until CVC and then getting stressed and seeing your clan getting stressed, especially going to the holidays. It's just not worth it. I've seen it happen a lot. I've seen it happen way more than I wish I would have, honestly. So be very, very mindful. If you don't think you can do it, if you don't think you can compete, leave your clan, take a break, relax for a little bit. Don't go into it and then not be able to keep up and then get kicked or be forced to leave or something crazy like that. So some people are going to try hard, some people not so much. So guys, I really just wanted to bring that to your all attention, let you guys know that we're going to have quite a busy next few weeks, to say the least. Also, as far as spending, be very mindful because you will be tempted if you are a spender, a lower spender. You probably will be tempted during this time because they're going to have good deals. Plus, personal reward CVC, you're going to be even more tempted to actually, hey, let's spend an extra $20 here and then $20 there and then $10 there. And then all of a sudden you spend $500 for the month. Hopefully not that extreme, but either way, let me know what you guys think about this Artifact Ascension dungeon. I think it's interesting. I think it could add some new interesting things to the game. Hopefully it's not going to be, I can't really see it being a overall negative because it seems very much like, I mean, there's going to be a lot of RNG involved, whereas with the potion keeps, there's no RNG. You farm the potion keeps, you get the stuff, you ascend your camp champions, no problem. Whereas with this, it's, well, in the video it was like over here, but whereas with that, it's you get the materials and then you ascend your artifact and you get a random main stat boosted. It's gonna be interesting because it takes a pair of some weapon or some artifact you have that was really good before, and now you have that next level to achieve. So if you farmed that 10,000 energy for a really good weapon, a really good pair of gloves, you ascend it, and now all of a sudden you get defense percentage or you get flat attack. I don't know what all stats were available. It shows in the video. I'm just giving an idea. But if you get a stat that's not good or useless on that main stat, now all of a sudden that piece that was really good isn't as good as it could have been. You know, it used to be godlike, and now all of a sudden it's still godlike as far as the original stats, but it's not what it could have been. That makes sense. So definitely be a lot more money, energy, and such going into getting the best gear. And there's also going to be some absolutely insane speeds for champions. Like I'm talking 500 speed maybe. I don't know exactly. 400, I think 430 was like the highest. 450. I forget exactly what the highest is. But there's going to be some crazy fast champions, especially when people start hitting They're really lucky rolls on these pieces. I don't know what all each piece can actually roll, so keep that in mind. The things I'm saying are not necessarily 100% accurate, but as far as CVC, be mindful about that, guys. Be very mindful, be careful going into it, plan it out accordingly. Think about it. It's Christmas. So with that said, guys, hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Best of luck. Let me know what you all think about this, and I'll catch you all in the next video.